Thank you. I wanted to say that right away at the start, off rip, because maybe some of you out there have never heard those words directed at you. But I didn't make a mistake. That thank you was to you. You son of a bitch. Really appreciate all of the incredible support and kind words that so many of you have shown towards one of the biggest projects I've ever been a part of, which was the Gentleman Evolution of Tears album. It's a musical album that Troy and I have been cooking up for over a year now, and we are super happy that so many of you seem to have enjoyed it. We put a lot of time and work into it. The music videos took a lot. It really was a project with so many moving parts, and we couldn't be happier that so many of you were super supportive of it, so thank you so much. As is tradition with music, there's a lot I want to talk about, so I just want to bend over, pull my pants down, and give you a fucking fat, juicy lore exposition dump. So it's been 3 weeks since the album released, and since then, audio scholars are calling it the Homer's Odyssey of music. Some experts even want to send the Evolution of Tears album into space, because if there is intelligent life out there, they deserve to hear this. They want the Evolution of Tears to be the first thing they learn about from the human race, our cuck-core music. Other people are claiming that the Evolution of Tears is the most important invention since the wheel. I mean, all kinds of very flattering and very touching reviews of the album. 10 out of 10s across the board. It's just been truly wild over the last few weeks. But I'm not here just to talk about all the accolades and the upcoming Grammys. I'm not going to get lost in the whirlwind of being a rock star. You know, I'm not going to get into drugs and all kinds of shit like that. The only vice I have is collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards, which is far more embarrassing than any drug, and that's not going to change. So what I want to talk about today is, well, first of all, if anyone is still interested in the album vinyls, there is 1,200 left. The link will be in the description if you do want to pick those up. After that, they're gone. I wanted to mention that right away because a lot of people keep asking about it. So yes, there are still 1,200 left as of the time of making this video, and then there won't be any more. So just giving you a heads up there. But what I wanted to talk about mostly was the music videos. Each one has a wacky and exciting story behind it, so let's just go in order of release. Your Boyfriend Doesn't Scare Me. So, a lot of people were thinking this was filmed by Martin Scorsese. Some people even speculated that perhaps even Spielberg had an executive producer role in the music video, but all of these rumors are false. I just want to go ahead and put that shit to bed right now. This project was well above their pay grade, and we didn't want it sullied with their amateurish work. This was filmed by the one and only Dad Balls Danny P. Danny absolutely crushed this one. Chelsea as well. The two of them came together to create this magnum opus of Your Boyfriend Doesn't Scare Me. The music video I thought absolutely slapped, and there's a lot to talk about with the creation of it. We initially had a WWE superstar signed to be the bully. I wasn't going to be in the music video. I wanted to just kind of like have a whole storyline play out like a fucking crazy anime with a WWE actor and all that, but a couple days before the shoot, the WWE star had to cancel due to some circumstances, and we were kind of left with our dick in our hand like, well, what the fuck do we do now? Because you only have a couple days. We couldn't really find a replacement for the bully. So with tears in his eyes, Danny looked at me and said, "Charlie, you're going to have to take the role." Now, ordinarily, there's a lot that goes into me accepting an acting role. I spend a lot of time going over the script and really becoming the character, which is why I'm one of the strongest actors to ever grace the big screen. But for this project, I knew that I'd have to just come in here raw and feel it out. And all things considered, I think I play a pretty good bully. Obviously, the setup was for a taller bully, considering Kevin, Backyard Scientist, is pretty tall, and our WWE guy is like fucking 6'8", so it would have been like a much better like bully nerd dynamic match as opposed to a 5'6" man going up against the 6'4" Chad nerd. But we made it work, you know, when life gives you lemons, piss your pants. We did exactly what we set out to do and delivered a high quality music video, even with that hiccup of having the main bully cancel. And not only that, the whole shoot was cursed because the school we were using tried to cancel like 3 times, and Matt had to hardball him like, "No, you said yes fucking 2 weeks ago." And they'd be like, "Oh yeah, we did say yes, never mind, you're good." Then they'd call back 3 days later, "Hey, no, we're putting the kibosh on it, you can't film here." And Matt would be like, "No, you fucking signed a contract, we've already planned it, we have to do it." And they're like, "Oh yeah, you're right, we did sign that contract, yeah, you're good." and then they call like 5 days before game time and they're like, no, we have to cancel, and he has to remind them again that they already agreed to it and signed for it. So the whole thing was a bit of an uphill battle, but we squeaked it out, and I'm really happy with what the team was able to do. The song's a banger, and the music video was a ton of fun. I think it came out great. Super happy to see how well it's done. A lot of people seem to really enjoy it, so that's fucking amazing. And we were super lucky to have K-Mac on the track. Extremely talented guy. He absolutely crushed it. So, just to clear up a little confusion, in the first set of screams on the first chorus, that was all me, with K-Mac doing backing growls, and then K-Mac takes over, which is why you notice probably a huge quality difference in the screams from the first chorus to the second, because K-Mac did the second, and he blows me way out of the water. He slaps my fucking cheeks around when it comes to, like, screaming talent and singing. And then, of course, at the end of the song, him and Troy harmonize with something truly ethereal. K-Mac was a perfect addition to the song, and I think he really elevated it to the next level. Next up is Perfect Oblivion. Initially with the song itself, I wanted it to be really grimy and disturbing, but when I kept brainstorming gross lyrics like, shooting fucking crocodile in my butthole in the dark, it was like, wow, this is too hard. The song is obviously about a couple of degenerates who are in love, and they're not good people, but they still love each other and shit like that. So the song was going to be like a lot grosser, and I was like, there's no one's going to want to listen to this. Like, even I was getting kind of disgusted with some of the stupid lyrics I was coming up with. Spit in my mouth like you used to, weird dumb shit. So I'm pretty happy with where the lyrics eventually ended up being, kind of toning it down a bit. And the music video is actually animated by Thrill the Will, who is the mastermind, the fucking genius behind incredible content like Mr. Krabs overdoses on ketamine and dies, all kinds of incredible work, even made Halo Infinite in 48 hours, Cyberpunk. Thrill the Will, an extremely talented animator slash video game creator, and I hit him up asking if he'd be interested in doing the music video. He said yes for sure, and I was so happy. It turned out so well. A lot of people thought it was Pixar behind it, but no, Thrill the Will's work blows Pixar way out of the water here. So the Perfect Oblivion music video, I think, is a really special one. Now, there's nothing too wild and wacky about the story of Perfect Oblivion. Thrill the Will was great to work with. It was smooth sailing, no hiccups, no wild circumstances that arose from it, so nothing too crazy there. And then the last one, Here's to Us. This is a song Troy and I were talking about almost 2 years ago now at this point. It was a song that was initially going to be much, much sadder, but kind of like Perfect Oblivion. You don't want it to be like too aggressive in one area, so like too gross or too sad. The song is obviously about a really unhealthy relationship, like a relationship where both people are miserable, but they stay together because they feel like they have to. There's no deep meaning with the song. It's just one of those songs that's supposed to feel sad, like a classic acoustic ballad. And I think the song came out super fucking good. Like, if you knew nothing about the people behind the song, you would think someone broken wrote that song. Like, they were going through the fucking worst breakup of their life. Troy crushed it on that one. Captured the vibe of, like, real, teenage angst when a relationship ends kind of shit, or when it needs to end, the toxic relationship. I think that came out wonderfully, and the music video there is as simple as it looks. It was Troy on a treadmill, me on a treadmill with a green screen behind us that we just put a stock video behind that made it look like we were walking. There wasn't anything super deep about that one. That one we wanted to keep simple and keep the focus on, like, look how sad this song is kind of thing. And again, it's another song that I'm super proud of. And then, of course, if you've listened to the album, you know that there's an extra one on there that there won't be a music video for. That's The First Immortal. I've actually talked about that a lot in the past. It's a story idea I've had for a long time about a woman who keeps giving birth to herself in order to achieve immortality. She'll get old as fuck and then birth a clone of herself that has all of her memories, kind of like how a snake sheds its skin. So there's just like this husk of the woman as she births a different version of herself. And that was fun to tell that story. It's just like a little interlude piece. And even that came out nice because the music surrounding it really complemented it well. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about these things a little bit because it was just so much fucking fun. The music from the Gentlemen with Troy it's just been such a treat. I'm not musically gifted, but Troy is a fucking savant. Everything he touches musically is gold, and I'm so happy to be along for the ride and be able to make incredible tracks like this with him and share them with all of you. I'm really, really happy that so many of you seem to really vibe with it. And I just wanted to make this video as mainly just a huge thank you and just talk about it a little bit, because for me, it's fun to talk about these kind of things. I get really excited for these kind of projects and just wanted to share it with all of you. Thank you again, and that's about it. See ya.